well. So first up, it's Justin Wigg's Bulldogs, who are coming off a split week as they welcome the 17th ranked Southwest Minnesota State Mustangs, who've only lost one game since the new year. Bulldogs scored the first 13 points of the game and led by 11 at the half. So we start in the second. Joshua Brown working down low. He'll feed Cole Hansen on the wing. The shot is off, but big effort play from Brown, who gets the rebound basket. Foul to go. Bulldogs up 15. And watch out, here comes Charlie Augustana right down the tracks, drives the hoop and takes the contact plus the bucket. Dogs stretch to 18. And some great ball movement by the Katona brothers, and the rock ends up in Hansen's hands. He makes a slick move to the rim and scores to put UMD up by 20. Charlie Katona had his way with the Mustangs tonight. He cuts through 4 different defenders and scores a beautiful layup. He led all players with 19 on the floor tonight. The Bulldogs hold the Mustangs to just 30% shooting and 44 points in a big 19-point upset win. The men hit the court next on Saturday on the road when they take on Augustana. Mandy Pearson's Bulldogs took the court right after that for a green bandana game, raising awareness for mental health. They also had a meeting with the 19th ranked Mustangs, but even though they trailed by just 2 at half, Bulldogs fell 89-63. Mustangs, who have now won 13 straight games, got 50 combined points from Bree Stoltzman and Peyton Blondie, while UMD was led by Myra Morjani, who had a team-high 22. Senior transfer Johanna Miller recorded a double-double for the Dogs with 13 points and 10 rebounds. Senior transfer Johanna Miller, well, we already talked about that. She had a great game for them tonight, but the Bulldogs do fall 63-89 in the final. Still to come, one of the faces of the